As far back as I can remember, I dreamt of a normal life. A life filled with normal things. A life where monsters don't live in closets or under the bed. A life where ghosts aren't real. I just wanted to be normal. But that didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. Since my early 20s, I have experienced profound paranormal events that would change my life. Extreme poltergeist activity, living amongst those that have departed this earth in ways unimaginable. It has affected my loved ones and children with no end in sight. I could hear things, see things, and feel things not of this world. I asked myself if this was a gift or a curse. With the help of my mother and close friends, I emerged a paranormal investigator. Since 2013, I have been on a relentless journey to learn about the paranormal. I invite you to follow me into the unknown. Welcome to the NECROMACER Live Show. Hello, friends, and welcome to the NECROMACER Live Show. I'm your host, Justin Brown. Thank you very much for joining me. I know I played hooky. Is that what you say? I didn't show up last night when I told you guys I would. I had an old person problem. I kind of went unconscious and couldn't stay awake. So I'm very sorry that I did that. But round two. Missy, do you forgive me?
Yeah, I forgive you.
She's like, sometimes I feel like I just want to clock out too. So, lots happened on the in the personal lives. I don't know if we all want to get into what you guys just told me, but yeah, that trumps what I got going on.
Mm.
But how you been?
Good. How
Doing
have you
okay?
been?
Well, besides the obvious tired, I know we got Darren and Eddie in the chat. I don't know who we have on YouTube.
I
If you
don't
want to get
got anything
shouted
yet.
out, let us know who you are, and we will shout you out. But I appreciate you guys being here. We got some topics to talk about on the show tonight that I feel like, at least in my mind, needs to be unpacked. And I want to know what you guys think about some of the stuff, or all the stuff I'm talking about on every show, obviously. But tonight, I want to know how many, a small sample size, of course, with the chat being small, but I want to know how many people agree or how many people are on the same page as me when it comes to the topics. We're going to be talking about paranormal diversity, and what I mean by that is there is a spectrum of folks in the paranormal field. One end is like the super serious investigator. He's like a open-minded skeptic. He goes in there and tries to find explanations for everything to get, to whittle down to what's actually unexplainable. They try to do everything they can to use the best tech, the best, methods, using critical thinking, and just going in there and doing what investigators by definition do. And on the other side, you have a believer, a 100% believer in all things paranormal. If you told them that you've seen, Pennywise the clown in your closet, juggling your underwear, they'd believe it. You know what I'm saying? They just, everything is paranormal. They believe everything without, any skepticism. You know what I'm talking about. So most people are somewhere in the middle, but I kind of want to see if I'm right about the gauge I put on the paranormal community. I'm going to kind of generalize my social media and the people I interact with. We're also going to talk about belief systems versus investigation, which kind of ties into that first topic. It's going to kind of help diversify a lot of folks that are in the paranormal community. And lastly, we're going to talk about some work standards and why we do the things we do and why we think they're important. But of course, if someone has questions or a cool comment or just wants to say hi, please say something in the chat. Missy will interrupt me or jump in and let me know you're there or what your comment is. But
Eddie
please.
Pence said, I'm still recovering from incarceration. I need to start acting my age when I go to metal shows. My old ass is still hurting.
Did he incarceration?
Incarceration.
Oh, okay.
At Ohio State Reformatory.
I understand. I can relate to that. What's up, Anthony? I see you there. Thanks for joining. I see you, Holly. Awesome.
Holly's here. Darren's here. Brenda's here. Hello, Brenda.
We got Bender in there. Brenda Dembski. We got some folks for the Interstate Paranormal research group in here. All right, so is there anything are you ready to jump into this? Because I feel like we're going to at least be talking for about an hour and a half about this specifically. Are you ready?
Yep, let's go.
So, Missy, I'm going to have you help me kind of drive this conversation. I'm going to ask you questions. So, when I say the term ghost hunter, what's the first what's the archetype of a ghost hunter? If you can someone like a paranormal celebrity or just like a description of what the archetypal ghost hunter is, in your opinion.
Well, you don't like the word ghost hunter. I don't use it often. We are investigators. They're not ghost hunters. When I think of a ghost hunter, I think Jason Hawes, Zach Bagans, those types of, para-celebrity people. Oh, God.
What is it you don't like?
Full screen.
Oh.
On the straight.
Hey,
fine.
I'm using my buttons. Just don't look at it. But you basically, you think about, of course, Jason Hawes. It says Ghost Hunter on his brand.
Yeah.
And Zach Bagans, he's basically the same type with just a lot more sensationalism and, entertainment value, we'll say.
I do have a cool story about a ghost hunter. I'll tell you about it later, but
okay, well, don't forget about it. I see you there, Landon. What's up, buddy? That's a fair description. I feel like the ghost hunter, for just a disclaimer, I am not trying to place judgment on anybody or any group or any description. If you feel like you fall under this description, you are not doing anything wrong. Okay? This is just different perspectives and different viewpoints on how I gauge and what that means to the paranormal community as a whole, and what part do you play. And I just want to feel the feedback coming from the chat to see if you are with me or not, because I feel like my opinion over the years has changed a little bit here and there. Maybe it's gone one way or the other, but I want to know what you think. Ghost hunters see the whole the whole investigation and research topic as a hobby. It's not something that they do like they do work. They don't want it to feel like work. They want it to be entertaining. They want to learn. They want to take it seriously. But when we shift into gears between belief and investigation, I want to know how people are serious. Are they more serious on what they believe and how they confirm what they believe when they do their thing? Or are they more passionate about the investigation, and that's what they focus on? But I want that to kind of be the gauge for this first conversation. They watch the shows, they watch the documentaries, they watch the movies, they see all the equipment they use, they want to experience what they're experiencing. They want that thrill and feel of being in the dark in a haunted location. Okay? They go there on the weekends. They go there with their friends. They go there with their paranormal group. They get together and they try to find what they believe is there based on their belief systems. And when they investigate, I see a lot of people that fall under this ghost hunter category really not scrutinize the history or the claims as much as they probably should if they are wanting to investigate it. So I want to make that distinction, and I want to diversify these groups. Investigators go there to find validity in the claims and validity in what is said to be haunting the location, if there is anything to find evidence of. And the ghost hunters are like, they already believe that something's there, and they just want to go find the ghosts that are supposed to be there, whether they find it or not. Their focus is not on debunking. Their focus is on finding what they believe is already there. And
so I have some interesting comments already. Mm-hmm. Arden said, too many fakers out there. That makes it difficult for the legitimate ones.
I definitely want to talk about that.
Matt said, according to the comments, I faked the paranormal. Holly said, hunting to me means going to kill something. And Becky said, I love the history as much as the investigation.
Me too. Maybe sometimes more.
Right.
But maybe we'll find time to talk about how the history can come alive on a psychic level later, which I know you guys that watch a show routinely have heard me talk about, extracting history out of the environment and having it become interactive, which is what I think psychic ability is. And maybe even the future. It doesn't have to be history. It could be the whole, enchilada when it comes to a location and the people there. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there that smear what people that want to take the field seriously. Just recently, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to call anybody out, but I was contacted by a location, and it had this similar ring to it, but way more sensationalized. We got contacted a few years ago when Derek and Missy just got into the group. Basically, this guy acquired this old, dilapidated hotel in a nearby town that I live in, and basically wanted me to go in there. He did not beat around the bush about this. He wanted me to go in there, find proof of what he heard was that the place was haunted, so he can make money off of that. Exploit that part of it. And I feel like this person who recently contacted me was like that, but way, way, way worse. I wish I could read to you what he sent me, what the criteria was, and to investigate this place and what the agenda was. It made me sick. Okay, so when I made a post earlier this week, I think it got a lot of interaction, because I feel like a lot of people feel the same way I do. Some people do not. Some people don't care what anybody does. They only care what they do. And it seems like to me that I'm jealous of that, for one. And for two, some people don't feel like they're connected to the community like I do. I feel like I'm really connected to it. Besides the point that I poo-poo on a lot of stuff, I still feel connected. I still care about the community, even though we may not all agree on the same things. I still feel like if someone does something bad, it makes me feel bad and ashamed. Kind of like you're all my brothers and sisters and, family to me. So if someone does something, I'm like, oh no, that's bad. You're right. So not everybody's like that. I understand that. But diversifying these different people will kind of help me maybe not feel so bad, because when I started off in the paranormal field, I was just like the ghost hunter. I watched the shows. I was like, hell, if they can do it, I can do it. If plumbers can do it, and some guy in a, undersized shirt with screaming demons can do it, I can do it, right? So I bought all the stuff, went out there and investigated. And after 10 years, I learned a lot. And I feel like a lot of people may have started like that, but not everybody is still there. Like me, I'm not there anymore. I don't use the SLS cameras. I don't use the RRDR 60s. I don't use, ITC devices like I did before. And that's not saying that people who do use those should just get the hell out of the paranormal. Definitely not. If you want to use them, that's all on you. That is, I am not the authority. I am not saying that what you're doing is wrong, because I feel like if people want to go out there and do what they want to do, that's perfectly fine. But I do feel passionate about standardizing investigation practices and methodologies to push the research, to find truth and validity in what we're doing, because I do believe 100% there's something going on. But it's very difficult to do it while everybody else out there is only listening to one pop song, and they're not listening to the music I'm trying to get them to tune their ear to. And I'll never stop doing what I'm doing. There's a few people out there, like Matt, Devil's Hour Productions there. He has, taken everything that I've learned and I've said and that I do in the paranormal seriously, and has gave it a shot, has tried it. And we have long conversations over the years, and we agree a lot on the same things. But with that being said, everybody's going to have their own take on how to find evidence of the paranormal, which is probably one of the hardest things you could probably do that I can think of. But diversifying the field, I don't want to put people into categories or try to label them, but I want you to start thinking about how you could start looking at the field and trying to diversify it and finding where you fit in. So I want to ask the chat right now, where do you feel like you fit in? Do you feel like you're, let's just say the left is paranormal investigator, skeptic, want to try to find explanations for everything, and when they can't, they shelf it and they try to find supporting data to maybe, hopefully, gather evidence that there could be life after death or something that science cannot explain that we can label paranormal at some point, whether it be poltergeist activity, psychic phenomena, apparitions, you name it. Or do you feel like you're in the middle? You feel like you want to do it as a hobby, you incorporate your belief, but you still try to debunk when you see things that are easily debunked, like orbs in photographs, pareidolia, so on and so forth. Or let's just say the left, middle, and right. If you are like a true believer and you like every dust orb you see in the photograph is your Uncle Tom, and everything you see on TV is real, and you have like 100% belief in everything that you see in the paranormal community, and there's no change in your mind. Let's just say that's the right. Where do you guys fall? The left, the middle, or the right? I want to know if you feel comfortable doing that.
Daniel Everson said pretty much in the middle. Matt said I'm the left. Becky said middle left.
I like that.
Eddie said, I love helping to save historic locations, and I absolutely love running solo in a haunted location. I prefer to use my own intuition than anything. And Becky said, I keep telling myself to let it go. People believe different than me, or consider things paranormal that I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Conkle said hello. Darren said the middle. Brenda said middle. Mecca said mostly left.
Interesting. So most people are in the middle or the left.
And Arden said definitely not the right for me.
I'm telling you what, I see a lot of people that are on the right, but maybe they're not watching this live chat. Now, when I look back over the 10 years that I've been doing this, I feel like I've been far left, but I find myself more in the middle. You pronounced their name right? Nice.
Mecca. Thank you. Yay.
Yeah, that's definitely not an easy name. Lucked out on that one. Whenever I see a circle and arrow pointing, I about 99% cringe. It's pareidolia. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about, what. Look, when I got into this field, I made sure that I learned photography and I actually started doing it for a living. Like, I'm not like a full-time freelance photographer, but I have a website and I have a legitimate business that I do when I have time to. And I had to learn all the basics of photography and basically learn how to analyze photos. Okay? And that comes to our next point, standardization. Like, everybody that's in this field should definitely know the basics of photography and hopefully more than that. Like, they go out there, they take a lot of photos, all the normal anomalies that you see, you know what causes them and how to explain to people what they are. And I wish it was just like this huge echo chamber out there. And I know most people on here, I never see them post, dust orbs or photographs with circles on them like Eddie, suggested. I don't remember seeing one, okay? But they're out there. So what do we do about that? Like, what do we do about that? Or can we do something about that? Let me know in the chat what you've tried to do. Have you got into arguments? Do you, like, when you see a random post in your feed, do you comment on it, give your input on it? Because that's what I do. And I try to give the photographer's explanation for what that is. And most of the time, the standardization for photography is don't do photography. And I know people do. They're taking snapshots of the location and the architecture and what it looks like. But if something weird pops up in it, they throw it away. But if you're going to do photography and you can do it, mount an action camera on your still camera so you can record the video while you're taking photos. That's the best thing.
Sorry. Jeff
Mm-hmm.
Conkle said I got in here late. What was the subject?
We are talking about paranormal diversity, where we're trying to categorize what kind of paranormal researcher or ghost hunter you are. Are you more of a believer slash skeptic, which are a little in the middle? Are you like a open-minded skeptic where you try to investigate every claim and find explanations for them that are normal, that are not paranormal? Or are you like a full-on believer and you use every gadget you see on TV and you feel like you have every psychic ability known to man and you talk to dead people and so on and so forth? I mean, that's kind of a silly, way to explain it, but hopefully you know what I mean. And we're going to go ahead.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, and we're going to talk about standardizing how you investigate the paranormal, and we're going to talk about belief systems versus an actual investigation.
Eddie Pence said shutter speed is a very common one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Which is what we found that one a lot. Becky said, I think there are a ton of like, I've been to a lot of places. I don't know what the hell she's trying to say. And walked out with nothingness. I see a ton of people who get something everywhere they go, every single time. So
Right.
Either I suck at this shit or they think everything is paranormal.
You don't suck, because let's face it. I've investigated residentials. Every day they see something paranormal. They're freaking out while you're there. They show you like a plethora of photos that they've taken themselves that they believe have paranormal anomalies in them. They feel like they're being possessed or attacked by demons or something, And you run into the investigator. They record 50 EVPs every time they go. They live stream and they get all this evidence on all the equipment they're having. Let's just face it. No, it's rare. Usually, stuff you get on these devices that you see on TV that's popularized by paranormal TV are false positives, in my opinion. But no, you're not stupid, or
Sorry.
you don't suck.
Amber Wellman said people hate it when you ask for the original picture.
You know what? They can kick rocks. That's what you should
Daniel
tell
Everson said, I don't post anything I'm too afraid to.
them. Just send it to, like send it to me. Send it, to Kenny Biddle. Send it to people that know about photography, and Kenny will tell you if he can't find an explanation for it. But he won't ever tell you it's a ghost. I will tell you, this is what caused it, or I don't know what caused it. But at the end of the day, we don't know what it is if we can't explain it. Can't just jump to it.
Said I stopped commenting because people just want to fight for comment on their photos.
What do? We can't do anything. People are stuck. They don't want to take their stuff to somebody who might know what they're talking about or does know what they're talking about.
Becca said, I can't tell you the amount of investigations I've been a part of, and we got nothing.
That's usually what happens. Like, if you watch some of our documentaries, we may get one or two, if we're lucky, of something we can't explain. It's usually audio. Usually. But it's crickets, because my saying, you can't find the paranormal finds you. Usually when something happens, you can't just go to a place and have it happen. Every once in a while, there are places that are very active. And when you go to those places that are very active, they're usually not great, in my experience. Okay, it's not grandma stopping in to say hello. It's not, a ghost dog, wagging his tail wanting to get petted. It's probably something really nefarious or really nasty, and it wants to do something bad to you. Or it's something that you're super sensitive to, and it ends up usually being disturbing. Not always, but it's something that disturbs you. Like the Monroe House, for example. Extremely active. Okay? Even Madison Seminary is extremely active, but I would assume that not every time you go, you don't get something. But those are the places that kind of jump out to me, because when you do go, weird stuff happens, even during the tour. I mean, when we were touring it, weird voices were coming over our equipment, and I had everybody mic'd, everybody was accounted for, and we couldn't explain where the voices were coming from. We even got growled at one point, which was strange. Never been growled at before. There's
said you have to know your equipment and know how to debunk things. All equipment is not bad.
Right. So we're all basically in the middle or on the left. I'll tell you right now, I believe something's going on. I believe that there's life after death. I believe that people or entities can interact with you. I believe that psychic phenomena is real. No, there's nobody out there that's 100% accurate. No, there's nobody out there that, can probably deserves your hard-earned money to give you a fortune telling. Probably not. The ones that are good enough to do that don't do it for a living. I'll tell you that right now. All right? There's two reasons. One, the people who are good enough to see into your future or can read you and tell you what's going on for real without tarot cards, with all this, and this is just my opinion, those people stay in the shadows. Why? Because they have to entangle their energy with yours, and that comes at a cost. Everything comes at a cost when it comes to the energy work. And there's really no amount of money that's worth even doing it, especially to just random people in the public, let alone your loved ones. You really can't help to do it with your loved ones, and that's just taxing enough. But the second reason is no one's 100% accurate. I mean, the majority of people is like 10% accurate. I've seen people that are 50 to 75, but they're extremely rare, and they hide. But the reason why they don't charge either is because they know they're not 100% accurate. They don't want to tell you something that's not true or not right and expect reimbursed for that. That's
That
just my
person
opinion.
can't do anything for days after they give you a reading.
It
Okay.
depends.
Matt, I'm trying to get to you, honey, okay? He said I want to be on one of these shows.
Okay, well, we need to start making a list um, of everybody that's on here that wants to be on here, so we can, talk about whatever we want to talk about, or maybe we can review some stuff that they recorded that they want to, get some feedback on. I eventually want to do that. Maybe next week we'll have somebody on. So if you want to be a guest on the show and you have a way to be on Discord like Missy is and I am, please message me on Facebook
Holly
or
said,
Missy.
me. Daniel said our job is to decipher if a location is active or not. We're paranormal researchers, correct? LOL.
Yeah, you're supposed to investigate it. You're supposed to research the history. You're supposed to research the paranormal topic. You're supposed to research everything. Okay.
Eddie
There's so
said,
much
I
shit I
believe the
research.
most gifted doesn't want the bullshit either.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably someone out there that's kick ass at doing it and they do it for a living, but I feel like there's too much of a risk and too much. It can get too messy. I feel like doing it full time just for anybody is. Whew, I don't know. I don't know. Accuracy is only as good as the person doing the research, and people are never 100% accurate. No, they're not. No.
Um, Matt said, hell yeah, I have some new stuff you haven't seen yet.
All right, so Matt, you're a no-brainer. Holly, you said you wanted to be on the show. Anybody else, you can say in the comments. I'll write you down now. You don't have to message me. We won't make you do that.
Well,
So,
she can message me and we'll set up a date, I guess. Or
Matt,
she can message
Holly,
you.
um, kind of try to keep track of the comments to see who else wants to be on here.
Okay.
Uh, I know we've had Darren and John Ward on here.
Yeah.
Not
John actually has had 3 books come out since we had him on last.
all
So
right. Well, if he watches this and he wants to come back on, we'll have him come back on. But everybody helps promote his books anyway.
I
Um,
have a Facebook my team, but I don't post anything. I let others post and share on the page. I will message you, Missy. Okay. Message me. We'll set up a date.
I have you. Yeah, I have you down, Holly. So if you want to message Missy to figure out when we can, I want to do this show on Tuesdays. Let me know, guys, what day I should consistently do Necromancer. Should it be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? Let me
Well,
know.
you don't have travel ball anymore. So
Mm-mm.
Tuesdays might be good because you just spent last weekend traveling back and forth. So I have a video I want you to look at, Justin, just a clip actually, to see what you think if you have time.
So we can do it on the show if you want, but if you want me to do it in private, just send it to me by email or a private messaging would work too. You can do
Matt
it that
said
way too.
Friday, LOL.
Fridays.
Becky said I
We
like
could.
Wednesdays.
We could do Fridays. I Tuesday through
Tuesdays.
Friday. I just don't want to do Monday. Shannon says Tuesdays. I like Tuesdays, but I want to do. I want to try to make everybody happy if I can because some people watch other people's shows. I know the Cryptic Paranormal show is Thursdays, and a lot of people that watch us watch that show. So I kind of want to stay away from Thursday.
Brenda said Tuesdays. Jamie said Tuesdays. I thought you were going live last night.
I
We were
was
supposed to.
I was
He fell
supposed to, but
asleep.
I fell asleep. I fell asleep, dude. I got off the vitamin B12 complex supplements, and
Why?
because I suck.
You were doing so good.
Travel ball.
Yeah.
I was in
Well, now you can
Chattanooga
start taking
for
them again.
for a week, and then I was in Indiana for a week, and that got me all screwed up. So that's my excuse.
Start taking them again.
Fridays and weekends for Matt.
The school is back in session. I get home from teaching around 6 p.m. Arizona time.
What's up, Philip? How are you doing, sir?
Arden
Facebook
said
Live.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Uh-oh. Facebook Live Paranormal Investigations versus TV. We at Cherry Capital. Shadow Seekers are a Facebook Live Paranormal team. We have our comment section versus TV no comment
No
section.
comments. He travels with his balls every day, Rick said.
Nice. All right, so beliefs versus investigation. How do you not drag your own beliefs in life after death, spirits, entities, so on and so forth into your investigation? Probably one of the hardest things to do is to eliminate the human element out of your investigation and just become a data robot. It's probably the hardest thing to do. So I know Missy, she don't even try to not be a sensitive when she goes to a location.
No.
Unless it's something bad and she doesn't want to deal with it. She pretty much is excluded. But me, I struggle. It's very helpful if I have a film shoot that I have to coordinate all this equipment I have to set up and deal with. That helps me not be sensitive to a location, but it doesn't always happen. My beliefs are very hard to put in my pocket, but I feel like we have to. And why do we have to? Well,
Robert.
Confirmation bias. Hi, Robert. Thanks for joining us. It is almost impossible not to be biased. You can say you're not biased, which in fact, your bias drive your waking mind every day, all day, subconsciously, consciously. It is unavoidable. Now, analogy, since my daughter plays a lot of softball, is if I'm coaching my daughter on a team, I have to not be harder on her, or on the flip side, be easier on her because she's, my child. It's hard to be, exclude her from all that. So it's kind of a good analogy. So how do we not be biased? How do we put our beliefs aside? So you basically, what I do is I go in and I'm like, okay, these people have a belief, they have a claim. I have no belief that this place is haunted. I may go in there and the hair stands up on the back of my neck. I may feel like the devil himself has cursed this place. That doesn't matter. All that matters is their story, their credibility. Does it collaborate with others' claims and people that have their own experiences? Are these people credible? Is this place, have history that correlates with what's going on? If it doesn't, you have to dig in to the personalities and psychologies of these people. You have to dig in to your paranormal toolkit, set up the cameras, set up the equipment, do the interviews, do all the historical research, observe. Okay, investigate the claims only. If the person sees a shadow figure at the end of the hall at 9 p.m. on most nights, that's what you try to capture. That's what you focus on. You don't pull out an SLS camera, a spirit box, all this, crap that you see and set up and try to talk to the air. That's not what you should do, in my opinion. You should just attack the claims. Find if what they're seeing is what you can capture or see. You may see it and not be able to capture it. You may capture it but not be able to see it. Those things are all important and very, very valuable data in your investigation. You should have to return. You should make a prediction. So, the prediction was you see the shadow figure at 9-ish p.m. at night. The prediction is, will we see it again? Set up the cameras. Set up your eyeballs. Look down the hallway. Do you see it again? Okay. If not, you might have to adjust your approach. Okay. Maybe our presence, the investigator's presence, is affecting whether the manifestation happens or not. So you set up the cameras and leave to see if it appears then. Maybe there's other things you want to take a look at. You have to be very methodical on how you do this. So your belief systems aren't getting in the way. You're trying not to let them get in the way. Probably not going to do it 100%, but you're going to try. Anything
I have
in chat?
comments.
Oh, no.
Arden said First off, she said, I missed the Friday shows. Are you going to be starting them up again?
Well, the thing is, I was trying to consolidate all the shows into this one because I don't want to do 2, 3 shows again, like I used to, like a psychopath.
Right.
But
She said,
I do want to do the Discord hangouts like we did before, but I want to do them on the show, like have one or maybe 2 people come on and we just,
hang out. And,
hang
yeah.
out and chat.
She also said, I can't stop being a sensitive empath wherever I go. Um, Shannon said, you state your beliefs and address bias in the research. You let peer review to challenge your findings. You can't get to 0 as far as assumptions you have to make in order to conduct research.
Right.
I
So,
always said you have to go in with an open mind.
mhm.
That said, my beliefs change a lot. I try to be as open-minded as possible. It is hard to put your beliefs fully aside.
It is hard. So the peer review in the paranormal field is broken and not functional because, for one, there's no standard in peer review. There's no standard in data acquisition or methodology. There should be, because there's a scientific method that you should be using or trying to use in a field research, avenue or theater situation. So, but everybody has their beliefs bumping into each other online, and there's really no one. I've seen so many websites try to do peer review, and what ends up happening is all these people that submitted their stuff never agree with the people peer reviewing it, because 99% of everything they submit is explainable or not good data because they didn't have any standard in how they acquired it. So the problem, and Shannon probably already knows, is that the people that are acquiring it and then submitting it for peer review already messed up. Most of them, like almost all of them. What's up, John? So there's a conundrum. There's like a cycle of just trash in and out, in and out, in and out, and there's just no conformity. We need better practices. We need a better community. We need someone. What we need to do is just have people with the education and the funding just do it. And for example, like amateurs who actually do make scientific discoveries, like astronomers. Like an amateur, astronomer can discover a planet or something out there. They're not in the industry, but they do have enough knowledge and enough hardware and tools to do something. Okay? But there needs to be this structure set up to where people can say, yeah, you did find something. We can collaborate you on that. We got an even bigger, better telescope. We see what you saw. We confirmed it. So there's nothing for the paranormal field in place yet. And the reason for that is the scientific community does not take this subject matter seriously yet. But the government does have these, secret research groups and things that doesn't allow, we can't connect with it. Russia, the US, if you think about it, they've done UFO research, the Stargate thing with the psychics and remote viewing. The research is out there, and the people who know stuff about stuff is out there, but it's not out there in the open for people just to come on to and provide any type of peer-reviewed submissions, like the amateur astronomer discovering something or seeing something weird in the sky, like, oh, there's an asteroid floating around the Earth, you may want to check that out. How many amateur astronomers have spotted asteroids and reported it?
Okay, I have like 15 comments.
That's great.
We have a guy named, let me know if I butchered your name, Virgil Kane. He's from Manchester, England.
Nice.
Derek said, I actually feel good if we can debunk a claim and have many more questions when we discover something that's not reported. Um, Eddie said, I believe in certain people can make a location active or shut it down immediately. I know some that I haven't gotten anything and have been investigated for some time. It's when you cross that threshold is when you truly open up. Just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have a viewer on YouTube. His name is Ulysses Strong. He said, "What's good from Virginia, Minnesota?" I think that is. I don't know what it
Hey,
is.
man. Thanks for joining
Um,
us.
I've seen firsthand at a location. It was, I believe. Okay, yeah. He was replying to Eddie. Or
It's getting kind of out of control now. See,
yeah.
this is why I have you do it so I don't look crazy. Do you need
Me-
help?
no, I'm fine. Mecca said I have an exercise scientist and exercise physiologist. I 100% agree with this. This is exactly what we do when we do our research and submit our research for peer review. I take this methodology into my paranormal investigations
That's
to
awesome.
the best of my ability, of course. Um, Virgil said he had a question that he's gotten kicked out of several paranormal groups for asking.
That's the great best kind.
Ask the question. I want to know. Um, I cannot even Row of Judas ask what.
He's trolling.
Yeah, he's trolling. That's fine.
He's allowed to.
Okay. He's allowed. Okay. Um, my main area of interest is astrophysics. What has always fascinated me is the block universe theory that all reality, including the future, exists now. Kind of like destiny, your death has already happened. Your
Mm-hmm.
time hasn't gotten here yet. You know.
What's even better is the emergence theory that the quantum gravity research people are doing, where they're saying that everything is a nonlinear feedback loop to where the past, present, and future are all co creating a simulated reality. If you haven't checked that out, go check out quantum gravity research.
Oh my god. Okay. Um, Shannon said a unified but competing methodology is essential to addressing bias in research. Also, anything being researched is influenced by the researcher's observation changes matter.
Maybe this live stream is all we need to find the answers. It sounds like it, right?
Yeah. Derek said crow. That's up actually slurps.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't give Derek a Miller light.
I'm about to sit. He can't drink Miller Lite anymore. They changed it. Now they make it with fake sugar.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think it's funny though. I'm about to call him up here because I gotta pee. But
Uh oh. You don't have to call him up here. I can main screen it. No problem. You
are you
gotta
sure?
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm dead sure.
Okay.
Go. Do it now. I will put you on mute in case something weird happens. Okay. So, dude, guys, the comments, please keep them coming. I really, really appreciate them. It's awesome to see that you guys all have input on this. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to go back to Virgil again. My main area of interest is astrophysics. What has always fascinated me is the blocking. Okay, she read most of that, I think. Maybe I want to make sure I got all that. Your death has already happened. Your time car hasn't got you there yet. Yeah, dude. You definitely want to take a look at that. What I try to do is I try to study consciousness. I try to study science. Big, huge, nerd when it comes to quantum field theory and quantum physics. I try to get it all in there in the brain because I feel like the paranormal deals with consciousness, and scientists feel like consciousness is becoming fundamental, and we may be living in a simulation of sorts. This may not be base reality. And we did a show, not maybe the last time, I think it might have been the last time, where maybe the simulation theory, if it is true, could give a lot of explanations of why we view things as paranormal when glitches in the matrix happen, right? I believe most of psychic phenomena is extracting quantum information out of the environment and maybe, making it become interactive. I feel like that is very, very plausible. I feel like the more you delve into science and all the cutting edge and, beliefs out there when it comes to quantum gravity research, when it comes to quantum theory, string theory, all that stuff, there's so many intersections and parallels with all the stuff that we believe is paranormal. It's very, very interesting, and it's been a lot of fun looking at all that stuff and trying to find models that maybe one day we could actually test. Right? That's the goal. We have Missy back. She's
I'm
a
back.
half pound lighter now.
Yeah. Heath said hi. Hey guys.
What's up, buddy? Nice to have you here with us. Wouldn't be the same. So, beliefs versus an investigation. I feel like we've done a pretty good job of looking at that. Work standards. How can we get the stuff that we record and take notes of correctly? There's got to be a work standard. So, let's see if I can. I got some pictures up on my computer here, real quick. Hold on, let me put them over here. Let me see if I can find the ones I was looking at before. Let me go through them here real quick. I got some funny ones that I screen grabbed. I'm such an a-hole when I edit photos because I take funny screen grabs of people.
John Ward, honey, if we could, we would be billionaires. He said, but can the simulation give me the winning Powerball numbers? LOL.
I wish. So, what you're seeing here, besides a sexy man, is you're seeing the cyborg, the Borg setup, okay? Why do we dress like this? Okay? Well, one of the main things we do is voice phenomena research. Could be EVP, could be disembodied voice out of thin air, could be all kinds of stuff, right? So, what I have painstakingly done is try to develop a data gathering system to help eliminate false positives. So, if you look at this photo, you see Derek with a night vision action camera pointing at his face. You got one pointing away for POV, and everything's lit up so you can see everything. And if we're in the dark, if we're in daylight, what have you. So when we get a recording, or if we hear something that we can't explain that might be anomalous, we can look at the camera and see, was Derek making a noise? Did he cause the audio to happen? And everybody has a face cam at all times. And we sync up all the audio. Everybody's mic'd. You can see here, he's got a microphone there. Very crystal clear audio. We can see his face plainly. And everything in front of him we can see. So we have a lot of data just from that setup. So if something comes across as a voice or a strange noise, we can cross-check all these data points. Was it Derek? Was it Missy? Was it me? Was it Josh? Was it the microphone down the hall? Was it the microphone outside? We sync it all up. We try to find where it's the loudest and where it's coming from and where it's not coming from. So we can try to pinpoint not only where it could be coming from or where it's not coming from. So if it's not coming from one of our investigators, where is it coming from? Is it not coming from outside? Is it not coming from a door creaking down the hall or a stray cat that got in the building, what have you? We look at all these data points. So I feel like everybody should be trying to do this. If someone submits a recording to me with something on it that they can't explain, if I don't have video of them in frame, video of the room, a wide angle view of the room that they're in, I can't help them really. And if they're not using secondary or tertiary microphones that I can cross-check with those that are right next to each other. I can't tell you if it's something just on one device or multiple devices. And the reason that, you know, matters is because if it's acoustic energy, like our voices, like something you hear with the human ear, it will come across every single recorder. Okay, every single one. If we go on here, I
I'm
mean,
going to read some of these
go
comments
ahead.
while going through photos. Philip Gibson said, I pondered the idea of parallel realities, where our choices here may affect what happens to me in another reality. For instance, my decision not to go to the grocery store creates another timeline and an alternate reality.
So, according to the many worlds theory, every possibility that can happen will happen. Okay, so if you ever read the old, books that kind of give you like a choice how to proceed, it's kind of like that. But every single choice that you could pick plays out in, another parallel reality. But that is almost impossible to prove at this point, but is very, very interesting to think about, talk about.
And
So if you notice, I'm using a different rig here on the right. I'm using a Sony camera, and you can see the action camera mounted on top of that. It's recording my face while I'm recording Derek doing what he's doing. So if something happens, you don't have to worry about what I'm doing because I'm recording it. And these are some examples of what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can find something else here. Some of these photos are funny.
Holly
Okay.
said, I want to know how you get people to believe you when you hear, see, feel, smell spirits. When you're gifted, if you don't use some type of equipment, people are quick to judge others when they don't feel the same.
Missy, you should answer that.
It took me, what, 5 years for you to hear one voice the same as I heard it?
I don't know if it was 5. It was a couple.
It was a couple. You, you just have to say what you feel, say what you've heard, and, you know, somebody will, you know, you'll validate it somehow, some way.
So recording something that you hear that no one else hears, but we got it on recording. That's one way. If you watch a really cool example of how we do our cyclical research is the Old Licking County Jail episode that we did with Jessica. And in the segment in that documentary, Jessica's telling me what she's picked up on before she has been there, with being blind to any of the history or being there at the location ever before. You can see how that will work. So you have to. One way you can do it, Holly, is double blind experiments. So an example of that would be your group or somebody you trust. It's almost like Dead Files, where someone takes Amy Allen into a location she's never been to before. They record everything she picks up on, and then an investigator comes in and tries to validate everything or debunk or disprove everything, depending on what happens. That's how we do it. Now, when it comes to clairaudience, if Missy hears something, we don't hear it, but we capture it. That's one way. But sometimes, depending on the situation and what the investigators do, they'll all hear it eventually. But you have to. I mean, we can kind of go into that. The instance Missy is talking about is Madison Seminary, and let's just should I just play it and show it to her?
Sure.
Okay, you can read some comments while I'm bringing this up.
Jamie Hunt said, so decide where you actually are. Are you wanting to investigate the paranormal or wanting to decide or investigate if we are living in a made up reality, etc.? No one is an expert and there are no standards of investigating because no one is right, no one is wrong. And so we absolutely can prove without a doubt that this even exists. Why aren't we taking all of this data from everyone and trying to piece it together, not cutting out apart how someone is doing. Just my opinion.
Nice. All right. Oops, wrong button. We'll get there. All right. This might be a little bit long, but this is the very beginning of our Madison Seminary doc when we were there the first time. And Missy will explain what she's picking up on and how we kind of approach a situation. Now, I don't usually do what you're going to see in the film, but this is, I kind of had an intuition to do this, and we were able to record something Missy normally hears when she's interacting with what she believes are deceased or souls of those who've, once lived. So we're going to go ahead and play this and let me know what you think.
A lot of people say that this room is where it's at.
Yeah. Joe had asked me if I picked up anything in this room. And I heard a woman, like, crying. And all he would say is that goes along with the story.
It does. Can you tell what happened?
No, I can't tell what happened, but she's she's upset. She's not sad. She's not crying because she's necessarily something traumatic happened.
To her?
It's her baby. She said my baby. Right?
I don't know, honestly. But a woman's spirit is known to be in here. That's why I put the camera in there.
Yeah. She's in there.
We're sorry about what happened to your baby. But your baby's got to be passed on. Aren't you with your baby? Can't you be with your baby?
This is going to take a few minutes, guys, but it's worth watching if you haven't seen it. This is completely unedited.
Talk to me.
She's stuck.
Obviously. I'm just gonna put something in the frame here. Staying here just for a second. Definitely fought a really good charge when I walked in. You can be with your baby.
So the tactic I'm using
You
with
have
this
to leave here.
is I'm trying to empathize and console the energy. I feel like this is very important if you want to tap into it. If life after death exists and we're all disembodied consciousness with our own feelings. If you notice what I'm doing with my hand, I'm doing that intuitively. I don't normally do that.
I heard it.
Heard what?
Like wind, like swishing.
I was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely feel something going along with the floor.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, something got my attention over here by this bricked-in corner.
Something behind there.
No. A wall.
I bet you there's something behind that wall.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Did you whisper right before you said that?
No, I did not.
What the fuck?
That was her.
I'm literally shitting myself
You
at this
heard
point in
that?
time.
Am I right about that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Did you whisper right before you said that?
No, I did not.
What the fuck?
That was her.
So Missy did not say it. She's on camera. And then the next replay, you'll
You
see
heard that?
my angle.
Am I right about that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Did you whisper right before you said that?
No, I did not.
What the fuck?
That was her. You heard that?
It still gives me chills. This never happens.
I heard a yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But
was right in my ear.
to capture. So you're telling me that there's something right behind that wall?
All right, so we'll quit there. It's on the YouTube channel if you want to watch the whole investigation. It's pretty crazy. The whole thing is. So Holly, that is what Missy's talking about right there. you have to have all the right setups. I mean, there's no explanation. Me and her are in the basement by ourselves. This place is huge. Okay, there are people above us on down one side of the building, but that voice, that whisper, was right next to us. Like it was on 8 different recording devices. You know, everything in the room, it captured the sound, and it was closest to Missy. It was like it was speaking right into her ear, whatever it was. So,
Daniel said unbleeped cuss words. I love it. I
yeah,
still want to investigate with you guys.
our next documentary, I'm probably going to start doing it because it does offend people. I was a huge into not doing it, but we're probably going to start doing it. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's all raw. You get our true interactions. We don't bleep the cuss words, but we probably will start doing it because you just have to reach more people and not offend them.
Holly says, let's see. Micah said no. Holly said that when she feels or she moves her thumb and her fingers together unconsciously when she's picking something up.
It's interesting.
Becky said she does the same thing.
It's like anxiety. It's kind of like a fidgety thing. So, some of my ideas behind, people who are sensitives, empaths, has abilities. They are highly sensitive to anxious feelings in the environment. They know how to read a room. So if they start feeling all those things that they've kind of been trained over the years, maybe you've had abusive relationships, maybe you had an abusive, traumatic childhood with your family life. What the hell? Boy, I just got a huge lag. Are we really far behind on the stream? Huh. That's distracting. I don't know why that's so far behind. Anyway, yeah, I feel like it's anxiety. It's almost like an anxiety fidgety thing. What do you think, Missy?
Yeah, it totally is. Oh yeah, Mecca. She said the comment about us picking up anxiety and similar is so true. Holly said, yes, I do get anxious too.
Mm-hmm. It's an anxious
Um,
feeling. I feel like, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So he was talking about the old Licking County Jail episode before we went into the Madison Seminary. Um, I pay attention to everything. Like, I pay attention to the way Justin Sharp is laying on his stomach.
Oh my
I have
God.
I have always done it. Jessica walking into the jail, I knew she was nervous. And
I'm sorry.
go
I
ahead.
interrupted. Well, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay.
I seen something Shannon Morrison put in there, and I wanted to comment on it. But go ahead, finish it up.
But I was paying attention to everything. And I messaged Justin the night that documentary aired, and I'm like, her nail color changed. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, her nails were this color, and the middle one was this color, and now they're not. And he watched it over, and he was like, that's weird. I guess we'll have to pay attention to that one.
Where was that?
At the jail,
I've totally forgot about that.
at Old Lincoln County Jail, the color of her nails changed.
Interesting. So, Shannon, a lot of the research I've done in PK, psychokinetic stuff, is people with psychokinetic abilities are PK agents in parapsychology. If they don't like being on time, or if they happen to be on time all the time, their watches will break. Or a lot of times people will walk under street lights, and every time they go under a street light, the light will go out. It'll either blow or it'll just go out, and when they pass it, it'll come back on. To me, that type of stuff you're talking about are things that point out, psychokinetic agents, which kind of gives rise to PK manifestations. It's definitely something very interesting to research. See, you did the same thing in the jail, dog. Remember the microphone picked up a person saying yeah, and oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But none of us heard that.
Right.
What is up? Derek says, yes, you are correct. The main problem is that most investigators get offended when you debunk their evidence, so the standard investigation would give them no reason to be offended because they should have the same kind of evidence that can be cross-checked. That's right. Was it cold there? Is it a real thing? Just curious. My fingers die when they get cold. Change colors. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I know burnout is a real thing. No, it wasn't cold that night. I wasn't cold, I don't think. My mom had renounce, and then I turned into scleroderma. Watch that. But
Oh yeah, it was a. He's talking about the jail again, isn't he?
yeah.
Um.
Eddie was there and they investigated the jail, I think. So I could be talking about that investigation together. Look, Justin, I'm drinking.
No way.
Yeah, it's flavored water, but
Don't count. That don't count.
it's water
You
flavoring.
might as well be drinking coffee. There's water in coffee.
It's water flavoring, and there's not that much in it.
What's up, Deb Schneider? Long time no chat. How's things been going? Good job muting it. Very good. No one wants to hear that.
How was married life treating you, Deb?
Oh, did you get married?
Months ago.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. So work standards, it's a work in progress. I'm trying to do my due diligence. I'm trying to tell people how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, why they should do it. Slowly but surely, people have adopted some things that we do. The main reason people don't investigate the way they should, myself included, is because it's hard. It's extremely hard. We only get these locations a short amount of time. We have limited time to shoot a film over shooting a film, investigate. I mean, I know all you guys love it when I live stream, when I do, films of these investigations, but that trashes the investigation. All the time that we're spending filming and live streaming, we could be actively investigating and trying to find, data that could support some of the beliefs and theories that we have about the paranormal. But it's something that I love to do. I love to do it. It's a passion of mine. It ties into my belief in the paranormal that these places with rich history, some of it very tragic, some of it, I resonate with because of the things that happened there. I have not had a joyful life early. Okay? And I suffer from anxiety, depression, you name it. I have been impacted by it. So, these places that we go to, it makes it easy for the empath in me to connect. But
Hi, Karma. Hi, Rich.
oh, we got Karma and Rich Valdez. Hey, we got people on TV joining us now.
I know, right?
We've made it.
Yeah. Rob Hernandez is on.
Rob or Rich, let me know if you guys want to come on to this show and just chat. It doesn't have to be about anything serious if you don't want it to be. It could be about something you're promoting. I want to let you, if you are interested, I want to write you down on the list because it's just been me and Missy since we rebooted this show. And I want to start getting people in here, for the content and to hang out and to help.
He said, hell yeah.
Rob Hernandez.
Rob.
Oh.
I feel like when live streaming, people have a tendency to put too much of their focus on what's going on in the chat instead of what's going on in their surroundings.
You have to because you're live streaming. You have to, right? You can't just ignore them. They're not going to watch. Oh, I've commented 100 times and asked 20 questions, and you're not talking to me, so I'm going to just click off of it. You have
Rich
to.
said, "Let me know, brother."
All right, Rich.
Well, Deb said I'm impacted from the cost of locations. LOL.
Deb, you're not the only one.
I like the way we did the live stream at Randolph County Infirmary.
Like the static cam one?
No, well, yeah, because I was behind the camera watching the live stream, and you and Josh and Derek were investigating, and I was the one behind the camera, and you guys were doing your thing.
Oh, it was kind of like a Resident Undead style thing.
Yeah. But it was, one of us were standard stationary, and the others were, stand out doing the investigation. So I kind of knew what was going on, but Mecca said same. I'm impacted from the cost. Okay. Also,
They're only
we don't
getting
like
more
to
expensive.
name places because we want to get real evidence and not be affected by anything manifested by the masses. Karma said, love the new look.
Thanks, Rob. I agree.
I just love what you talked about going in blind. That's the best way to do it.
Especially with, a lot of people, like we have people on. We believe everybody has a capacity to have some type of sixth sense.
Mhm.
Okay, some are good, some are bad, some are more, some are less. You have to investigate that. What's the best ways to do it? Go in blind. Have them go into a location they know jack about. Document what they say. Stick a camera on them like Deadfile style. And then when you investigate and you do the historical research and you talk to the people with the claims, does anything line up? What doesn't line up? You have to find clever ways of not, weeding out coincidence and stuff like that. Because some things are just, if you go into an old creepy building, some things are just going to be, coincidence or what you would normally say if you walk into a location. You have to find ways to really get good alignment of information.
Okay, so Deb has a very important question. She said, I have a question. I get scratches, it seems like at all locations.
I've
Do you
noticed.
think I'm being marked? Why do some people get scratches and others don't?
No one knows, Deb, but if you want to know what I think that some sensitives will have psychokinetic manifestations occur, and one of them are scratches on the body. I feel like when someone is connecting with energy, entities, whatever it is, it manifests as scratches. Do I feel like these are attacks? Mostly no, but some may be. Okay? If something naughty wants to do something bad to you, I feel like they would do more than just scratch you. But the scratches seem to be a psychokinetic manifestation that people receive when they pick up things. Like you're either empathic or sensitive to a certain type of phenomena. And it's usually not good. Usually when you're in locations like the Monroe House, Willow's Weep, even in your home, scratches can occur. I mean, I've even seen people get scratched. I think Matt Bitton had an old clip where he was watching a scratch manifest on a woman's back right before his eyes, and he caught some of it on camera. And I believe that most of the time it's a psychokinetic manifestation. That sounds weird, I know, but I feel like a lot of PK manifestations are weird, and we have yet to find ways to understand them completely. Investigate backwards?
Yeah,
What
he
am I
said,
missing here?
He said, I think, hold on, let me get back to his comment. He said, I think going in blind before getting the history of the location may be the way to go. Then after the investigation, connect the dots with the history and see if they match.
Right. Going in blind.
In other
Best
words,
way.
investigate backwards.
Yeah, from, like, let's just say you're shooting a film. You don't want to do that, obviously. You want to, you try. Well, you can do that shooting a film, but normally you don't. Like, a lot of times when you're shooting a film, you do your research, you get on, the internet and you find out everything you can to start developing a story arcs and how you're going to shoot it, so on and so forth. But you do not have to. It's something you definitely should try to do in your research if you have not been doing it yet. It will help legitimize everything that you experience or feel.
Becca said, thank you for the comment about scratches. Yes, finally. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. This mirrors my hypothesis from my experiences and those of others. Deb said, I protect myself. That was me at the Monroe House during his documentary.
Yeah, that place doesn't like her. I don't think she likes it back very much, but
no,
the place is crazy.
I still have a photo on my phone of the scratches she got that day.
Mm-hmm. I have it. There's so much footage from that whole shoot that I have not put out there, but hopefully one day I'll have the chance to put all of it out there. And what was interesting was we were doing pickups and interviews with Deb at that location, and she was scratched. And I know she's been scratched other places too. I think the last time she went there for Matt's film, she was scratched again, if I remember Matt telling me that. So, yeah, I remember at Willis Weep years ago, I had an investigator running cables for CCTV equipment, and he came in to the headquarters, the place where we were monitoring. He's like, my back's burning, and we lift up his shirt, and he can't reach where he is scratched. And we're watching him on the cameras. He never went anywhere to where he could scratch his back on something. It's unexplained. Like, you scratch your head at it.
Derek said, Deb, I feel for you. After we did our second documentary about the Monroe House, it sucks.
Yeah, he looked like he was about to have a heart attack.
Deb said, I don't do tours because I don't want the stories. And Holly said, me either. Right in front of him. Deb said, right in front of him. Scratches might be a protective thing. You encountered the energy before, had a scratch from then on. When you encounter the energy, your body manifests the scratch to get the same protective reaction from you. It's like being exposed to a massive amount of chemical and becoming sensitized. Some people will then have massive reaction, small exposures in the future to protect you from another massive exposure.
That's interesting. I have to find a way to try to research that concept.
Rich said maybe Deb is in a way a physical medium, but she hasn't learned to control her gift yet.
It's very possible. Very.
Eddie said, I hate the Monroe House. I got jacked energy-wise.
I'll tell you what, Deb. Every once in a while, I'll watch the trailer to the doc we did with the audio of your incident there at the Monroe House. It is disturbing. It is one of the most disturbing things I've listened to. It's crazy. Type 1 in the chat if you've watched the Haunted Hartford City doc trailer. Because Deb's attack or experience audio is in that. It's something you're going to want to hear if you haven't. Derek has haven't. Heath is. Let me know if you guys want to check it out. It's nuts. It's crazy.
Oh, so we were talking about, TV personalities and at the beginning of the show. Leave me in the Monroe House for a weekend by myself, and I'll document everything I experience for you.
You could do that. You can definitely do that. It's really cheap too. But getting it for a week, he may not let you do that. It's hard to get it for a period of time.
But I took the dog to the vet last week to have her nails cut. And I had to go get her in the afternoon. Well, when we pulled up in the morning, there was a car there that was painted like Echo One. And, I never thought anything of it. We just dropped Penelope off and went home. And then I came back to get her that afternoon, and Mecca said, where do I watch it? He'll show it to you. So I go back that afternoon to get the dog. And I walked in, and Paul Radford, I think is his name, from Ghost Hunters International, the redhead English guy, he's standing in there waiting on his dog. I'm like, I sat there for a minute. I told him, I said, I have to follow you out when you go because I parked behind you. He looked at me and said, I knew who you were as soon as I seen you. And he goes, fair enough, but you didn't freak out. And I'm like, why would I have freaked out?
I don't know.
He just thought I was gonna have a fit, that I was standing in the vet's office with Paul Rutherford.
That's probably the normal reaction he gets when he's recognized.
I'm like, I know who you are. I'm like, you didn't impress me any. Fine.
You guys ready for the craziness?
Back off. Back off now. In God's name, back off.
You go back to your bathroom, you stay back there.
But I got you, I got you, I got you. Don't fucking touch me! Fuck! Okay, okay. Leave me the fuck alone! Okay, sweetie, okay. Open the door, get the door. Open the door, let's get her out of here.
The door.
Leave me alone! 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 Leave me alone!
Get out of here.
Out!
I can't move my feet. I can't move. I can't move my feet.
In God's name, out of here now!
Something about it. Something about it. It's a lot of people would hear that and think that Deb's crazy, that it's fake, it's horseshit, but I believe what she experienced at that point in time was absolutely 100% real to her. And I don't think she's crazy because obviously many others have had similar experiences in that location.
Deb asked, do you think it's normal for two mediums to be in a location and pick up on different things at the same time?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I do think that's a thing. But
Bill,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Finish your thought.
But what you want to try to do is find correlations and connections with both them going in blind to, find validity in what they're saying. But if both of what they're saying lines up with reports, claims, history, you definitely want to take a look at it. They're picking up on something that has to do with that location. But that doesn't mean that one's right, one's wrong, is both wrong because they didn't pick up on the same thing. Okay? Because if you go to the doctor, one doctor might pick up diabetes, the other one might pick up arthritis. Depends on, the doctor, depends on the person. Hopefully that was a good analogy.
Didn't we do an experiment like that at the jail with me and Jess?
I thought it was Archive of the Afterlife.
No, the one where you set us in the room together.
Oh, yeah, on the live stream.
Yeah.
That was the jail.
Philip said, I love the Griffin Blind Tiger. Some of the best EVP audio has ever come from the Griffin, a very underrated location.
Oh, that was the bar in Hartford City.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Philip Gibson.
Yeah. It's
The
I
last
tell you
one.
what, if you want to go to a location and get stuff, take my mom. I take advantage of it whenever I can.
What the hell? John said the last time I was at the Monroe House, I blacked out and cussed out some old lady on our live stream. That place makes me angry. I haven't live streamed an investigation since.
Who was that?
John.
Oh, I remember him telling me about that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that upset John, knowing that he did that, because that's definitely not John's personality to do that. It's a
Dottie
kaleidoscope
Fox is
of,
on.
huh?
Dottie Fox is on.
Oh, no way,
Yes.
dude! I haven't seen you in forever, bro. How are you doing? Everybody's just watching our stream tonight. Maybe we should do it on Wednesdays.
Right? He said, "LOL, volunteering at both hospitals. I've met a few celebs, and some of our guests sometimes freak out." Yeah,
Well,
he just expected me to freak out, and when I didn't, he was offended. I was like,
He was offended?
he was kind of offended because I didn't freak out.
Oh.
I was like, dude.
Yeah, you're right, Darren. That's what I remember. Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Wednesdays work. I'm trying to figure out what day's the best. You guys are going to just make me do it every day. And whatever's best.
Becca said, so from what I'm hearing is that I need to do whatever I can to investigate the whole city. Hartford City. Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah. We're going to do that again in Aurora, Indiana this year. So maybe late this year, early next year, you'll get to see that. And it's going to be super cool.
But we all might look a little better because we will actually have a house to go to. Like, not super dank, filled with cat hair jail.
Yep, Rich, it has power, it has everything. Everything a normal house would. It's got running water, bathrooms, power.
Now they have bedrooms.
Mm-hmm. You can sleep in there.
Coffee pot.
You know.
All you need.
Demonics.
Yeah.
Tuck you in at night. There is there is stuff out there that
That's
impersonates.
What matters. Gosh. They even have snacks.
Yeah, they have snacks. There is stuff out there, guys, that feel demonic. Okay? The Monroe House, a lot of people feel like it's straight up demonic. Okay? I'm going to tell you. I'm still learning about that. It's not black and white. It's not cut and dry. There are many levels, and there's a spectrum of what you can expect. If you're looking at something theologically evil or something that's just evil, but does not partake in the pantheon, which is theological. Okay. So the Monroe House is not theologically evil, but it might as well be in that realm because of its history. And Rich, if you go there and want to check it out, definitely don't read up on it because you don't want it to affect and, impact you. You don't want it to give you that power of suggestion or anything, which is already too late because we've already been talking about it. But that place, pretty much everything bad that could happen to a place happens to that place. So
Becca wants to know, who do I contact to potentially investigate the Monroe House?
we will show you right now.
Philip said, I believe we were the third or fourth team that had investigated there, so there wasn't really many preconceived notions before going in there. And the Blind Tiger. Hi, Christy!
So here's the Facebook page. Just message the Facebook page. This is the best way that I know how to do it. I will put this in the chat.
She found it.
Okay.
Was there a suicide there? Becky asked.
Just in case people want to investigate and don't want to know about it, I won't answer on stream, Becky, but you can private message me or anybody else that knows the history there, and we'd be glad to answer you.
Be safe, Holly. Have a good night.
Holly out of here.
Yeah, she said, okay, oh, it's time to go. I have an hour drive home now.
Eee, that sucks.
Rich said, la, 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 don't want to know.
I understand.
Yeah, Cassie Smith is on.
What's up, Cassie?
It's cheaper now, Daniel said.
Really?
Eddie's awesome. He always makes it a nice location to investigate. Yeah, Eddie makes it nice.
He takes care of people. He doesn't scalp them, crack their heads open, charge a lot when he definitely could. Oops. Oh, the wrong button. So, definitely a place you want to check out, but be warned, it's not nice. You may go there and nothing happens.
He said, okay, I'm okay. I'm just trying to live my life, Justin. God, he said.
Oh, okay. Just trying to live your life? I'm with you, man. I'm just grinding it out. Yeah, I think you're right, Josh. I think it's still $150 a night, which is insanely cheap. Yeah, Rich, I'll get a hold of you.
Thank you.
I
Rich.
definitely want to get you on here and talk for sure. I'll let you know.
Brandon said, missed you guys last weekend at the bash.
I know, man. I'm sorry we weren't there. It just didn't work out this year. Hopefully next year. I know that's the only time we ever get to hang out in person.
Philip said, as I mentioned in the previous stream, I spent 2 full days at the Mineral House back in March. The first night was very active, but it didn't seem negative. Second night, though, completely flipped the script.
It's a kaleidoscope. It's weird. That's why they call it mysterious. Like one day it could be completely benign and nothing bad's happening, but next day it'll completely flip. It has to do with some type of PK. I don't know what you want to call it. If you're dealing with psychokinetics, it's weird, okay? It's not like, it's haunted by one thing and one thing only. It's like a funhouse effect. Thanks,
Daniel,
Rich. See ya.
if you're coming this way toward the Mineral House, they may come past here.
Yeah, I think Missy and Derek are 2 hours away. Camden Park. I gotta Google that. It's a park.
Where is it at?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Definitely, Daniel.
I just want to photograph like an abandoned, creepy park.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like the PK that you get from parks is crazy.
Yeah.
So it is. Oh crap! I didn't want to. Cannon Park is a 26-acre amusement park located near Huntington, West Virginia. That's where Shannon lives.
Okay.
Near there. Established, I think she's mentioned this before, in 1903 as a picnic spot by Camden Interstate Railway Company. It is one of the only 13 trolley parks that remain open in the United States. So it is here. Oh, I've had to go buy that recently.
Yeah.
For softball.
Yeah.
Is that near Sims? I'm trying
It's
to
filled with a burial mound in the middle. It's still an active park, but Kendall and I have seen someone injured every time we visit.
Huh. Is this
Yep,
it, Shannon?
She said, yep.
Where's the mound? Right here. Oh boy. I tell you what, the river and the Indian mounds, not a good mix. Something even crazier
You
is...
probably passed it on your way to my house.
Is that
Josh
right?
said.
Maybe. Moundsville.
No, not the first time, Josh.
So check out this fucking mound. This is where it's at.
We went that funky way the first time. Tried to kill us.
That's not the best view of it, is it? It's like massive from the street where the penitentiary is. So you got the river, West Virginia Penitentiary, and this big ass thing. This photo makes it look small compared to how big it is.
It does.
And this museum is super cool. I love that. It's one of my favorite archaeological museums.
She said a worker was trapped by a coaster and life flighted in front of us.
What the hell?
You would have been past it already when you took the back roads to here. So when we took the back roads to that windy ass, curvy ass road, we passed that.
Okay. I was going to say, I've been by there.
Yeah. They literally let you have lunch on the mound until a decade ago.
Why did they stop?
Scotty Fox asked, are teams bringing in issues, maybe, to the Monroe house?
Oh, yeah. They're bringing in their own stuff. Here. Is that the mound? It's up on the tree line, right, Shannon? Like, is this it?
It's roped off.
Yeah, it's got chains.
Philip Gibson said, I'm from West Virginia and been to Camden Park once when the park was still open.
This has got to be it.
She said, yep.
I would love to have a archaeological survey of every burial mound in the world.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I'd go to all of them.
She said it's still open. Like,
Yeah.
in Harrison, like, when you leave the house to go to Harrison, the turn to go to Hidden Valley, do you know where I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Anyway, they're doing a burial dig right there on both sides of the street.
Interesting.
You do not want to go past there. You guys can stay with me.
So, what are the stories and claims that did Shannon say in the chat? She's probably told me, and I cannot remember.
I don't think she said exactly.
I've definitely been there or drove by there.
Traversity Opera House is amazing. You guys can stay with me, Shannon said. Darren said, I'm going to Moundsville Prison September 9th. Got tickets yesterday. Going to go hang out with Josh Bender. Back to West Virginia in a long time.
Oh, she worked there and saw some stuff.
Traversity of the 6 standing opera houses to date in the state of Michigan.
So many places to go. Not enough time. Not enough time. This has been a great show. We've had up to 20 plus concurrent viewers at one point. And
a lot of interaction.
A lot of interaction. This is the reason why I do it. It's freaking awesome. You guys are awesome. I'll tell you that with authority. Strong words. Awesome.
After the army for a short stay, some people talk about energy of a woman on the coaster.
Interesting. Well, Shannon, you let me know. I got some open time. I know that we need to catch up, and there's some things I definitely need to talk to you about. We need to come down there. Let me know what works for you.
Daniel
In
said
the
we
coming months.
appreciate all of you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by. I haven't talked to you in a while.
He said you guys are awesome.
You are awesome too. We'll be awesome together. Everyone here as well. That's right. Every single person. We haven't got any phone calls telling me that, bad things, because that used to happen on these show quite a bit. People just call me during the show and start trolling me, being mean to me. I've had people here and there try to troll me, and that hasn't happened. So that's awesome. And the 2 hours is almost up. We have 8 minutes. Is there anything that you guys, any more questions, any more locations you want me to bring up and check out? I know we can't investigate a carnival, but we could definitely go there and kind of, put our feet in the water, see what we think.
They were mentioning Crescent a little while ago in the chat. If
Deb,
you go-
I'm sorry. If
That's
we
no-
plan to go back, we'll let you know.
Oh.
Maybe this time you could actually investigate with us instead of just being a talking head in front of a camera.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yep. I have no interest in doing another documentary because I've done one, but just see how it is now with the new additions with the fence and everything else.
We have to get bricks too.
Win the lottery
We have to get bricks
from the Monroe House.
from Griffin's Blind Tiger.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm good. I don't need any bricks from the Monroe House.
Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers is interested in being a part of the show that created and formed our team and brought
See,
me and my wife, Jamie Hunt.
see, you owe me, dude. I made your life better.
You did. Put them in a room together and made them like
Did I make a baby yet? Is what I want to know. I want to make babies with other people's bodies. Is that weird?
yeah.
It sounded cooler in my head. Then when I said it, it sounded weird. You owe me a beer. All right, I'll take one. I'll take a beer. Corona. That's my beer of choice. We're all weird. Oh, heck no, babies are way out of the question. Come on, Jamie. Sacrifice the womb to appease downtown Justin Brown's desires. I want to say I started a paranormal team. I hooked up some friends, and they have a baby now, all because of me.
Justin.
What?
Jamie is grandma.
She could be mommy too.
She said, heck no, babies are way out of the question.
I know.
16 years out.
I know. I'm just being dumb. Don't listen to me. I want the whole package. Gotta have it all. Gotta try to get it all. That's my saying. I have exhausted everything that I want to talk about. I know pretty much everything I've said tonight is basically stuff I've been saying for years. As long as you guys walk away,
He wants it named Justin, too.
I wouldn't be mad.
Jamie said, exactly. LOL, tubes tied when my 16-year-old was born.
They can be untied.
Just to warn you, though, if you stay, the energy at my house isn't great. I lived here for years, and crazy stuff happens to people here. You'll stay at my house. You'll stay anywhere.
It's one of the reasons why we're going there. But I feel like we're fine now. Maybe at one point it wasn't fine, but I feel like we're fine now. So we definitely need to make it down there and catch up and address some things. But yeah, I feel like we have come to the point in time where we can wrap it up. So Missy, I'm going to mute you and do the whole outro thing. And yeah, hold on.
Desktop and go to the phones.
Oh, okay. See you in a bit. All right. If you guys don't know, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitter. I don't do anything on Twitter, but I'm there. I barely do anything on YouTube anymore, but that'll change. Instagram, barely on there. Facebook, I'm on there every day. So there's that. Follow us. Patreon. The heroes of everything that we do. Please extend your thanks to Clay, Josh Bender at Deadlight, Heath Edwards, Tony Flostein, and Gina Rutledge. Without their support, we would not be seeing any content whatsoever, because I'll tell you what, this stuff is expensive, this stuff is time consuming, and any financial support you're able to provide is huge. If you want to go check out our Patreon, there it is on YouTube, and on Facebook you're going to have to find it on our YouTube channel, because right now my subscription of Restream won't let me post anything on chat on Facebook until I upgrade. So that'd be another reason to help me out. Thanks, Mecca. Thanks for joining us. It was awesome to catch you live as well. So check out our Patreon. It's awesome. So that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. You guys, I can't thank you enough. The show is immensely cool. Hopefully I'll bring an even better topic next week. We'll try Tuesday. We'll feel this out. I want to try to find a good day. But if I have to bring back more shows a week, I will do whatever it takes. I have time to do that now. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. We'll see you next time. And check out interfacedeath.net if you're bored and you want to see everything that we're doing in the paranormal. You guys have a good night. See you next time.